Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Monongalia County Commission and let the record reflect that all three county commissioners are present. We'll start the meeting with the consent and approval with our county administrator. Renetta?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
25 exonerations for $56,328.34. Minutes for the Board of Review and Equalization on February 1st, 2021, and your regular meeting of February 3rd, 2021. Vouchers, General County Fund, $83,415.72. Coal Severance, $307.82. 911, $1,685.43. Chestnut Ridge Park, $1,569.13. Mason-Dixon Park, $330.90. Assessor's valuation, $3,684.45. Payroll, $1,635,151.02. Purchasing card vouchers, $32,565.86. 911, $237.96. Mason-Dixon Park, $162.73. Assessor's valuation, $3,156.25 for a voucher total of $1,762,267.27. Position vacancies for boards and authorities will be listed on our website. Fiduciary orders for February 10th, 2021, and then you have a separate item.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have first and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 And then you also have a petition for removal of the executor in the estate of James Hugh Wiley.
What is the commission's desire in regards to this action?
Did you want to explain what you had done?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, my understanding in doing some speaking with both councils is that we still don't know a couple of items. One, whether the IRA in question was transferred somehow prior to death or whether it was a standing, simple substitution of beneficiary prior to death. I would like to see that paperwork to determine whether or not that asset should be included in the 602, which would fall in line with the recommendations from the fiduciary commissioner, who indicated that of the three items she stated in her recommendations to us was that that proper 602 was filed. We understand that the 602 has been filed now. It is recorded downstairs. However, I don't feel we can make a determination whether that was properly done until we know the status of that account. And there's also a question of a life insurance that would normally be listed on that paperwork that's not there as well. Also in the fiduciary commissioner's report, she suggested that we consider the petition to remove the executor. However, in the agreed order that we were provided from the circuit court, it indicated that the fiduciary commissioner was supposed to hear that petition and then make a recommendation to us whether or not to remove. At this point, the fiduciary commissioner only recommended that we look at it, but didn't make an actual recommendation to us whether she feels it's proper to remove Tom Wiley as executor of that estate. So, considering the fact that there's a circuit court action that's handling this issue, and considering the fact that there were a couple of items that I don't feel that we've properly been given recommendations on by the fiduciary commissioner, I think it would be apropos to refer it back to the fiduciary commissioner to give us those recommendations and to order that that information be presented to us regarding the IRA and the insurance policy. Now, I understand it's been a great sense of frustration to John Wiley and his counsel that they haven't gotten this information, and that it's been requested by them time and time again. I think a definitive timeline would be necessary, as like the fiduciary commissioner recommended that a certain time frame to get that 602 filed, and it was done. Perhaps a more definitive order demanding that information so that we can make a proper ruling based on all the evidence before us, which I don't feel we have at this time.
Well, this body has no power to give the courts a deadline. So until that action is cleared through the courts, we feel, and if I gather what you're saying is, we feel that we really can't make a proper decision.
Yeah, I don't feel without all the information in front of us we can make that decision. And I share the frustration of Mr. Giggenbach and John Wiley that they've repeatedly asked for this information and allegedly haven't gotten it. But certainly the circuit court could compel them to produce that. And then we could have that information provided at that point. But at this point, as you say, we don't have the subpoena power to get that. We can make recommendations, or our fiduciary commissioner can. So until the court decides that issue, I think it'd be premature for us to rule.
Okay, so your motion?
I would move to remand it to the fiduciary commissioner to get to the bottom of that IRA information and basically wait for her recommendation and/or that of the circuit court before we make a ruling on that.
Do you want to give a timeline, like say 6 weeks, 4 weeks, something, to just ask? And then
we
at least
can
if
ask
nothing
for it.
come back.
Yeah, as Commissioner Sikora said, we don't have.
Right.
You can't tell the court a time frame, but we could certainly recommend to tell our fiduciary commissioner a time frame that
Right.
for her to act on their requests and on the information before her, and then certainly pass that along to the circuit court. But yeah, I would say certainly in a recommendation to the fiduciary commissioner to put a timeline on that. I'd say shorter than 6 weeks. I mean, this thing's been going on for
So
4
4
years.
weeks? You feel comfortable with 4 weeks? Or?
I would say to have an evidentiary hearing on their motion before the fiduciary commissioner within 4 weeks would be
Okay.
apropos.
Commissioners, do you want to submit the agreed order withdrawing their motion to stay and canceling the hearing? Do you want to put that in your record, since the attorneys have all agreed?
Yeah, I don't think we could.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense to keep our record complete. It's a public record, so
Okay, I have it here, so.
it's not confidential.
So I'll second that with the 4
I
weeks.
believe, if we want to allow
Sure.
Mr.
Suspend the rule.
Giggenbach just stood up, so I'm not sure if we want to give him a minute to speak to this before we.
I have a motion to suspend the, well, first of all, you have your first motion on the table. So we have a first, we have a second.
Yes, I'll second it.
Okay, so now discussion now. The second item is a motion to
Motions.
suspend the rules to allow
Mr.
Bader
Giggenbach.
to discuss this
So
issue.
moved
And I'll
on.
second.
Okay, we have first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so it's been a week. We've learned a few different things. When I was here before, I understood you to take the role of the fiduciary commissioner on the motion to remove. Mr. Wise emailed me after I left here and reminded me of the order, and I thought it from his perspective that, okay, that's fine. The fiduciary commissioner can hear it. We don't have an objection to that now. But previously, I viewed that you had taken that issue before you, but it became clear to me later in the afternoon that day that what actually you were taking up is whether it should go to the commissioner or not, as opposed to having the hearing here. Because I was very surprised that he wasn't here. Actually surprised he's not here again today. With that being said, I just want to clear up one thing procedurally, Commissioner Arnett, and that is, all right, we don't object to going back to the fiduciary commissioner. We'll have that evidentiary hearing. But the motion to stay that was filed in circuit court to prevent this body from acting in any fashion, the agreed order that I sent Renetta that afternoon when I was last here last week states that Mr. Wise had withdrawn the motion to stay so that it could go before Ms. LeBeau. So that's what we'll have. But procedurally, that would then come here as a recommendation, whatever she decides to recommend. But there's no prohibition on you then ruling on whatever it is Ms. LeBeau recommends to you, because the case law clearly is that you are vested with this discretion to decide whether to remove a personal representative, not the circuit court. In fact, that is why Mr. Wise withdrew his motion to stay before the circuit court, because of case law that I presented to Judge Scott that specifically said the county commissions of the state of West Virginia have that sole authority. It doesn't lie with the circuit court. So what I would simply ask is, once Ms. LeBeau makes her recommendation, I would then ask for a ruling by this body
without waiting for the circuit court to do anything.
If I may, is it fair to say then that the very issue of removing one executor and appointing another is the condition precedent to you proceeding with your circuit court action as well?
No, it's not, because the circuit court action seeks a remedy that you cannot give. We're after money in the circuit court. Here, we are concerned about statutory violations committed by Tom Wiley. So you have the authority to remove him if you believe statutory violations occurred. That's not a circuit judge's job. That's the county commission's job. I can't get monetary damages from you. The complaint I have about the expense and the damages to John Wiley and to his mother, we'll take that up with the circuit court. But procedurally, the issue of who administers James Hugh Wiley's estate lies solely here.
Okay.
Okay.
Agreed, and the only reason the court case is brought up is because the court case is over the who owns the IRA, correct?
It has to do with undue influence on the father, switching the account, basically stealing the money is what we're claiming in circuit court, is that Tom Wiley stole from his mother and in turn stole from his brother. I mean, that's just a plain, simple way to put it, but there are multiple counts in that. But again, it's all about money.
But if the end result of that is he's the proper owner of the IRA, then he wouldn't have to submit it on this paperwork. Correct?
Well, hopefully we'll find out what it is they intend to present. I mean, again, I've been trying to get it for 3 years now,
Yeah.
and over a year since close to a year since we were in front of Beth when they said they would turn it over. Multiple letters, nothing. So
that was just my understanding of tying the court case to our ability to make a decision here, because if it was over who's the rightful owner of the IRA, then that would inform our decision here.
Well, it's from what I understand, it's who was the rightful owner of the IRA at the time of the death. Because if that IRA was in the decedent's name at his death, then it has to be on the 602. If it was somehow transferred, not the beneficiary, but if the ownership of the account was somehow transferred prior to death, then that's a different story as far as the 602 goes. It doesn't affect your circuit court case, but it would affect whether that 602 was filed properly.
Correct, properly.
So that's
Exactly.
part two of what Fiduciary Commissioner LaValle needs to make a recommendation to us as to whether that evidentiary hearing determines whether that account was in the decedent's name at his death, and then whether her recommendation is as to removal of the executor.
Okay.
which takes us directly to the issue of, did he do his job correctly as a personal representative of the estate?
And that's what the fiduciary agent will make the recommendation with him
sir.
and come back to us with.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
to restate the motion for Rachel's purpose, the motion is to refer this back to the fiduciary commissioner to have an evidentiary hearing and report back to the commission within 4 weeks.
Yes.
To make specifically to make a recommendation on whether she feels Mr. Tom Wiley should be removed as executor, and then allow the clerk to appoint another executor in his
Right.
place.
Okay.
Very well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion's passed.
Okay.
I think I got that. If not, I'll watch the tape.
Thank you for your understanding.
Okay, moving on the agenda, the next item is introduction of new employees, personnel changes. Sheriff Palmer?
Good morning.
Morning.
I have with me Timothy Hall, who will be starting as a deputy sheriff on February 16th at a starting salary of $3,659 per month with full benefits, probation period 1 year. Tim comes to us from WVU. He was a bailiff here. I don't know if you remember. He was a bailiff, then he went to WVU Police. He come up on the list, so we're happy to have him. Second is Nicholas Rose, who will be who actually started on the 10th as a part-time process transport at a salary of $11.85 per hour with no benefits.
Move for approval for both positions.
Seconded.
Okay, I have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perry's not here, right?
No.
Okay, we have one other employee, new hire on the agenda. It's Perry DeChristopher, prosecuting attorney. Would you
Yeah.
give us the detail on that one?
Amanda Buckley, there was a vacant position for the Assistant Director of the Victim Assistance Program. Ms. Buckley will be effective February 16th with a yearly salary of $35,000 per year.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, are there any other new employees?
Not that I am aware of, sir.
Okay. Comments from the public. Okay. We're now open the comments from the public section. Do we have anybody here that would like to address the commission? Sir, come on up. I ask that you come up and you say your name for the record, and generally we allot 3 minutes unless other circumstances warrant additional time as approved by the president. So
Thank you, Commission. I didn't have a chance to sign up. I don't know if
We
you
don't
have
have a sign-in
sign-ins.
sheet.
You see, we have such a
Hate
large
to be,
crowd that comes in.
no one's beating down the pulpit. My name's Kim Haas. I'm the new city manager.
oh, geez, Kim, I've only seen you on a video screen, so
And this,
there you go.
yeah, this really interferes, doesn't it? I just wanted you to know that it's a pleasure for me to be here today and get to see some of you. We've met online, virtually, and it's just good to be here and get a feel for the atmosphere and the chemistry that exists. But it's good to be here, and I look forward to working with you closely on some really key projects for the entire area. I just think there's some exciting things going on, and it really is exciting that there's the level of cooperation that we have between the county and the city and the university, and everybody's kind of working together, and I've been really, really impressed with that whole process. So anything I can do, if you don't mind, I'll just come in from time to time on a fairly regular basis, just say hi, and if at any time it would make sense for me to come over and sit one-on-one with you, I'd love to do that, sit down one-on-one with each of you and just kind of see where you're at with things and understand the direction you want to go. So anyway, I just wanted to say hi.
Would any of the commissioners entertain a motion to suspend the rules so we can have direct
Sure.
conversation?
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. And again, we are pretty, this is our formal meeting, but we have, on Wednesdays, we have a lot of informal meetings where anytime that there's something that you want to talk about, all you have to do is, Ms. Renetta McClure is our county administrator. Contact her or Colleen Kuhn, our secretary.
Well, I've got to see her anyway. I've got to be sworn in for something. I got a letter from you.
You need the county clerk's office.
Yes.
County Clerk's
Development
Office.
Development Authority.
Oh,
So
yeah.
You schedule an appointment. and again,
So are those, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be posted?
Well, we do post those, so you let us know by Friday.
I see. Okay, so
If
just
you
some
wanna- if you
informal
wanna meet with us,
Love it. Let's do that.
She holds our schedules, so she can schedule it. Again, Colleen or Renetta can schedule a meeting. And again, it may be 15 minutes to come in a work session just to
Perfect.
update us on something.
Very
Because there
good.
are a lot of projects that, I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more detail. So thank you very much for coming in. Again, I've only been able to see you through a screen. Jeff,
I've been working with Emily on a couple issues, and I believe she's coming next week.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
she's
about the
making
Ramada
a, she's
Inn, and I was
making a
gonna ask about that,
presentation.
But then she's coming in next week. But that's an area that I would hope that we get in it at the beginning rather than after the fact, and that seems to be how sometimes the state and so on works. And
It
they
would
ask
be
us
my
afterwards.
intent to be at the beginning with you.
Good.
Instead of surprising you. And
Yes.
that's my intent. If you feel surprised, I would appreciate you communicating that with me because I really want to know that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
And you could certainly reach out to any of us as commissioners. Again, if you want to
Yeah.
bounce a question off us.
We're
And-
pretty open.
If you don't mind that would be great.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And certainly, if you, I'll make sure that you get my, make sure you have my cell phone number. But I thank you for, on behalf of Emily, for everything she's done.
She's been
because
great.
in the interim,
She's done a
stages,
marvelous job, hasn't she?
she's really moved a lot of things around, and as city manager, I'd say the most important position is keeping her happy, because she's doing a lot of projects that I personally working with her on the airport project, and she's done more in a couple months than's been done in years
Love
to
it.
really get things moving. So
Thank
I
you.
really
I'll pass that
appreciate
on.
her efforts and the wisdom in keeping her in those positions. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay. Would you pass that to Renee? Give that to Colleen to give to Mr. Thomas.
You will see our meetings do not last as long as a city council meeting. You'll be very shocked.
Okay. Do we have anybody else that'd like to address the commission? Okay. Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public comment session. Colleen Kuhn, grants.
I have one request for reimbursement. It's for the VOCA grant, and it's in the amount of $6,477.57.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So, second. Sorry.
I moved, yeah.
I had
We have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Colleen. Okay. Correspondence.
I have none personally.
Commissioner Arnett, do you have any correspondence?
No, I'm hoping I'll have one next week.
Okay.
That's all good.
All right, unfinished business. There's no unfinished business. Okay, new business. Consideration of requisition number 50 for the University Town Center Economic Opportunity Development District subaccount.
The requisition is for $459,842.54.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve
So
the
moved.
requisition?
Seconded.
First and second. For discussion standpoint, this is for $459,482.54 is the amount, and it's less this is the sales tax district.
Well,
Deposit.
$459,842.54.
Oh, okay, that's what's written here. I just didn't read it right.
Okay.
And that is for the sales tax district proceeds, and that's less the $100,000 statutory lien and tax administration fees. So we have a first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion pass. Okay, any other new business? Reports from elected officials and our department supervisors. Do you have anybody that wants to report? Okay. Reports from county commissioner. Jeff?
I have none.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, I have two issues to discuss. On Friday, I was asked to join as a participant for the NACO Zoom conference representing West Virginia. And what it was on was discussing how to promote positive information and messages concerning the vaccine, discussing misinformation about the vaccine, and how to promote CDC procedures. And I have to say, it was exceptional. And what I'm going to do is I will pass that information on to the health department and the local government agencies, because they gave us a number of ideas and concepts of what to do. But the big thing they wanted you to realize is that you keep giving out positive information, because if not, the void is usually filled by misinformation. So it was really good. The second thing is I want to congratulate Mike Miller and WVU students. They put together, and I just want to show this, it's called the Pantry Plus More Cookbook. And what they did was come up with an idea that what we found out when we were handing out food to the students and the parents, they wouldn't take the healthy items because they didn't know how to cook it. So we came up with little, simple recipes that the students can do with the parents, and it's all from the food that we give out. And it's just a really neat idea. And I just want to congratulate Mike Miller and WVU. And I sent a letter to President Gee, and I'm going to send them a cookbook and wanted to thank him. But that's what happens when you work with collaboration, so I appreciate that. And that's it.
Anything else, Tom?
Nope.
Okay, since the last meeting, last Thursday, I had my MAP Executive Committee meeting, and then we had DRE hearings in the afternoon. Friday, we had staff reports, and then the Ramada Inn project visit that we went to. This week, we had our Airport Commerce Park TIF discussion on Monday, BRE hearings on Tuesday. Today's a regular day. Tomorrow's a packed day. I have a JUMA meeting at 7:30 in the morning. Red Team, Development Authority, and then we're having the discussion regarding the extension building with our Milan Park. Friday, you have staff reports, BRE hearing, and broadband initiative discussion in the afternoon. So Monday is President's Day. I wish all of our employees a happy, well-rested long weekend. And then Tuesday, right back into meetings. I have our monthly breakfast meeting with the Board of Education and we have our jail bill discussion on Tuesday.
Yes.
I have it on my agenda. Okay. In general, I wanted to point out a couple things. The vaccination center is really churning. Last week they did 2,700 on Friday, and then they have vaccinations scheduled for 4 days this week. So they're starting to utilize it a lot more. We just need to shake loose the vaccinations so that we can do more, because we have a lot of capacity to put shots in arms up there. So I'm looking forward to increasing that. And I wanted to point out, a lot of people don't realize, but the testing, the community testing that happens at the rec center, and you have to check the health department website as far as the days, because it's usually Monday and Friday, but some weeks it may only be Monday and some weeks it may only be Friday, but there's at least one offering at least once a week. I noticed when I went this week, because I get tested weekly, that the process was a little different. And after talking with Dr. Smith, I guess where everybody used to have the Q labs, where the testing went through Q labs, that testing is now done in-house at W.
Oh, wow.
And I guess that it's going to be a huge savings to the state. Dr. Smith quoted a number, it was like $75 a test that the state was paying, and it's less than half of that doing it locally in-house. So really touts the capabilities that we have here locally. We have, W Hospitals has a lab that can do those tests, and the good thing is it's a lot faster. Normally you'd have to take at least 3 or 4 days to get the result. Well, they can't always promise this, but they said that we should have the results in 1 day. And I was talking to Dr. Smith, it was 4 in the afternoon. And I said, well, I went this morning, and I don't think I have a note, 4 o'clock. So same day test results, and to everybody that was already using the Q Labs account, is just seamless.
Good.
I still get my results from the same thing. So kudos to whoever. I'm not really sure who's responsible for that, but I reached out to Albert Wright and told him that it was great that his organization was involved with that, and it's a big plus for here locally to have that capability. The last thing that I want to point out is last Friday was the annual Give Kids a Smile Day at the Health Department Dental Clinic. And Dr. Carey and her staff treated 43 patients, and in a process will donate over $10,000 into dental care to children without insurance. And this is big to me personally, because if you give a kid a smile when they're young and help them avoid a lifetime of insecurity and self-consciousness, you give a kid a chance. So this exponentially, the good that this is doing our community, and I really want to applaud Dr. Carrier and his staff. This is really a neat program, and we're so lucky to have it here in this county. So that's all I have. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 We're adjourned.